Hey everybody, Jimmy with the Triple C Collective here for another Sci-Fi Sunday. Today, got with me co-host Colin. Say hi, Colin.
Hey, hey, how are you?
And we are ready to bring you guys back to the world of Star Wars with The Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 5, Entombed. So, before we dive in, we're a quarter of the way through this series. I
Hmm.
double checked. There's 16 total episodes. We get a double episode drop for episodes 8 and 9, and then 15 and 16.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, it was 1 and 2. It'll be 8 and 9, and then it'll be 15 and 16. So that's pretty sweet. Bad Batch will take us into like March and everything. Right around, as time Mandalorian drops for us as well, March 1st. Pretty excited about that as well. But we're a quarter of the way through. How do you like it so far?
I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. My favorite episode is still the Crosshair episode for sure. It's the most standout to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as stories go, it's the most captivating for sure so far. But that's fine. It took two great episodes to get to the third, and then now we've kind of just come into character building. Little eh, little backed up here. We're
Yeah.
not into the main story anymore. It's great though. It's fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's also interesting, and we'll save that for the end there. But yeah, dude, like so, let's just dive in
Hmm.
into episode 5. I'm excited for this. This was good.
Okay,
So I've been saying this whole series like has had a lot of Indiana Jones vibes to it,
for
right?
sure.
This Entombed episode, like is the Indiana Jones episode of episodes. Like they go treasure hunting.
Yeah.
Like the episode starts with Omega and Wrecker in the junkyard. I love
Yeah. Looking through, looking for like a catalytic
it.
converter,
Yeah, right.
uh, whatever they're looking for. They, Omega's excited and Wrecker's just funny. Wrecker just loves hanging out with her. He's just like a big brother. It's fun.
Well, and that's what I was saying. Like, that's one of my. That's why I liked how this episode actually opened. Not necessarily not like hating on any of the other opening episodes, but this one was really cool because it was like very I don't know, airy and like fun and like lighthearted. Like it's just Omega and Rekka going through a junkyard, like picking up random stuff, and then
Right.
I just love seeing those two together because like Wrecker, yeah, he's all big and tough and everything, but like the dude's always just like a gentle giant,
Yeah.
really, and just at least always put that forward with Omega. So like that's always great seeing like the I don't know like the big old bear and the teddy bear,
Yeah.
like hanging out or whatever.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, and then they Omega gets excited. She finds some treasure. She's having fun. She's having a great time, and they find some treasure. And then we pick back up in like a bar
Yeah, I thought
where
it was Sid's, right? Wasn't that
yeah,
Sid's
bar
place?
place. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a bar though. They're definitely sitting at the bar while Fee's talking in the background. She's weaving some tall tales. Apparently, Hunter Echo and Tech are talking about it. Basically, like she just every time the story changes, she's just I love it though. Fee's fun.
He's great. I mean, so it's of course like we said in episode 1, it's the return of Wanda Sykes.
Yeah,
Love
love to
love
hear in the Mandalorian or something because like these stories she can come. Why not? Should be
come
there.
yeah,
We,
come play.
yeah,
Come play, Wanda. You want to hang out in a galaxy far, far away? I happily welcome you here.
right.
And
So
but this
yes, at this point in the story, they're just hanging out at the bar, and Fee kind of sees the thing that Omega got, like her little treasure from the junkyard, and she kind of sees more in it.
she's like, "What is this?"
Right.
Looking at it, see some like markings and stuff on it as they're looking around. She gives it to her droid like Mel
Yeah.
or whatever, which is like I just got to say one of the
Yeah.
single best names ever for a droid.
Yeah. Mel, bro. Like, come on, man.
Mel, awesome.
Old guy at the bar's name. He Mel is yeah. He looked like an R2 unit, right?
Close. I mean, close
'Cause
enough. Probably an
Luke
earlier.
gets like that R2 unit next to it was like that red and white one that
Yeah,
when they first pick up C3PO and R2 from yeah.
that's a
It's
good point.
a different type of R2 unit.
Yeah,
Mel's awesome. So but she puts it into Mel and they figure out it's a compass.
and and in our
So
adventure,
yeah,
basically,
he, he talks to Omega.
basically goes off.
Omega's super psyched. She's ready for, treasure hunting basically. And Fee's Fee's ready, but Hunter, I'd be trusting Hunter at this point. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Intuition seems to be on point.
Well,
Uh,
because like Fee's talking about, let's go to the Kaldar uh trinary, and
yeah,
like Hunter's like, sounds sketchy, and
right.
like Tech's like, I've got nothing on like my like
Yeah.
on any of like the Republic's known like maps or anything about that, and Fee's like, well, the best known treasures aren't found on like maps
Definitely
and stuff.
wrong. Definitely not wrong. I just feel like I would trust Hunter's instincts.
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't disagree. I don't
yeah.
disagree with you at all.
I feel like even Echo is a little frustrated.
Yeah,
Like Echo's getting more and more frustrated.
absolutely. They're all getting frustrated, but Omega, of course, convinces them to go ahead and go on with Fee on the mission.
Yeah, they're
And,
ready.
and full stop. This is where, like, I wrote it in the notes. Full stop. This is an Indiana Jones adventure story now. We have
No,
like
thinking the same thing before I read your notes. I was reading that. I was thinking, wow, this is totally an adventure we're going with Indiana Jones style, and they pretty much solidify it by the end of it. It's funny.
absolutely, absolutely. It's great. Like, but we're jumping ahead. So they're traveling to the planet. They leave Sid's place. They've got Fee. Everyone's reluctantly on board to go find this treasure. And the best conversation that we hear is between Omega and Fee again. And Omega's like, please tell me, like, how many planets have you been to? Fee's like, too many to remember. And it's like, all right. All right.
Yeah,
Now,
she's
before I was more optimistic.
that way. Omega's all in on Fee stories. I'm not. Not a-
Exactly. Exactly. Omega is 100% in on it, but like I'm taking that Hunter and like Echo and yours, and I'm like,
yeah, yeah. I'm a little more skeptical about Fee. She's great though. She's a fun character, and yeah. So they finally get on the planet too, and it's just like nothing. No one's there. There's no civilizations at all.
yeah, nothing there. Like even Tech says that like there's nothing there. It seems like everything was raised and like like
So
just like
they kind of just follow the compass for a second minute, and then, they get to a dead end basically, and Fee kind of realizes that it's the compass is telling them to go through the mountain, and there's a secret door, and uh, she realizes they got to go through the mountain to get to where they need to go.
her putting her hand up and like
Yeah,
putting it in there, feeling the cross breeze, because that's why she does that, is to feel the like breeze, because that's
yes,
how she would know that
is
there's
it?
something on the other side and
She's
open it.
definitely this is one of my favorite quotes from her is when she's like she's not a pirate, she's a liberator of what is it, ancient wonders. She's a
Yeah,
wonders, and I think that's just a great quote. She does not want to be associated with those pirates.
right.
A different kind. Yeah.
So good, so good.
So they get in there and they she realizes where they are. Right, they're on some ancient planet where there was civilizations
Hmm.
called like Skaka now, something weird,
Yeah,
and
weird stuff.
the ancient civilization is older than the Republic, older than the Jedi. It's been around. It was there before them. So like, oh, ancient aliens, baby. So yeah, we're looking for what's called the heart of the mountain, and this, the other all pirates know about this. Even though she says she's not a pirate, she's like, I heard about this because I'm a pirate. Uh,
I don't know. So I
yeah,
heard
so
a tailor too.
she doesn't really know what it is, but she knows it's something that's been talked about for a long time, and it's an ancient artifact, and she wants to get to it. She knows it's worth a pretty penny.
Absolutely. And this is where like again one of those things like we've got the 1,000+ years undocumented like markings and like soils and all of that kind of stuff. Then we get to the actual puzzles of like where I was like, this is an Indiana Jones episode
Yeah,
now. This is Dave Filoni and his team being like, give us an animated Indiana Jones show, and this is me screaming from my couch, give Dave Filoni an animated Indiana Jones show.
please.
Because Harrison Ford can still show up if we
Yeah,
want him, or give it to somebody new. Make
I
it a
mean, hey,
young Indiana Jones. I don't
all
care.
right. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Do what he needs to do.
But yeah, back to Star Wars and back to the Bad
It is
Batch.
it's absolutely 80s reminiscent, like it's Indiana Jones style, and it's booby traps and all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they get booby trapped, and she literally is the only one that seems like she's not worried about it.
Yeah,
And she's like, "There's always a way out." And while she's saying that, Omega notices her compass through her compass, the lens of her compass,
yeah.
that marking. There's other markings in there, and there's like glowing like hieroglyphs, basically.
It's basically like black light on rock.
Yeah, it's like
It looks
hieroglyphs.
like
It seems like you're like the carved in markings.
yeah. But like her compass, that's like one of the coolest things about it. Then, like they put the compass on like the big lamp, and like then that gives the like blacklight reveal or whatever, like that paint marking ink, whatever they use on their reveal of it, and they're able
Puzzle.
to match up all the symbols and everything, and finally get out of that room. But
Yep.
like that was
But
just so cool.
Bond, the whole time they've been going through here, we've noticed there's been a creature following them.
Yeah,
There's been something growling in the background. We saw it on screen towards the beginning when they're going there. So yeah, we just kind of hear growls every once in a while, reminding us that they're definitely not alone. There's no civilizations. That doesn't mean there's no animals. You know what I mean? There's no, yeah, societies, but
yeah,
there's definitely creatures. There's things out there. So there's something following them. And as they get out of this area, basically the creature attacks
yep,
and stuff happens, and they get split up.
yeah.
Gang,
The roof caves in. They split
yeah,
up.
the gang
Mel
gets split.
Yeah, ah, Jesus.
Yeah,
And like, so the getting split up just reminded me of actually Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It's one of the most recent things that I can always think of that I think of in a cave collapse is when in Chamber of Secrets where Harry goes on to go save Ginny Weasley and Ron is left with oh god, who's the professor played by Kenneth Branagh in that? I can't think of his character name, but oh, Lockhart, Loveheart,
Love Heart.
Loveheart maybe is his
Uh,
name. Lockhart. Either way, he's the dude who lies about everything and is just good at memory charms and stuff, and like he totally forgets who he is and that he's a wizard and stuff. Anyhow, when they break that up, it like I like when this happened, I was like, huh, all right. I had a flashback straight to that, and but this is great. Fee doing her thing. She's like, okay, cool. See ya. You guys can
uh,
triangulate us. Like, you come find us. We're going on with the treasure. And
yeah, text kind of on the other side, like we got this.
yeah, it's a little hazy or whatever he says, but like, yeah, they're able to do this, and you know, this is where we also get the text saying like, hey, these minerals here and stuff are like predate anything also with the Jedi and everything with that like predates
Public.
like the Republic and everything.
Yeah,
So like he
I love that we're getting into previous civilizations and stuff from
yeah
because that's always interesting. Like lost technologies, literally like ancient alien stuff. It seems like it's like that's what's fun. It's like, but this is different planets and stuff. It's fun. It's so cool. So
yeah
yeah, so then Hunter and Omega and Fee are stuck in a room, and Hunter kind of goes ahead.
yeah
But it's like too easy.
Yeah, yeah. When they're trying to when they're walking around in like this new like little tunnel, they're walking. You know, Hunter gets about halfway, maybe like three quarters of the way, almost, and bam,
Yeah.
floor breaks. Fee's like, and right before it, Fee like throws up her hand. She's like, "My spider sense is tingling here."
Yeah.
Now I'm just mixing all kinds of worlds here.
Why you quiet? Yeah. So Colin and he uses his Batman. I mean, his grappling hook is he gets up and Fee helps him up, and they're like, this was something was we got to figure this out. So they basically look through the thing, and Omega realizes they're on the wrong side. So she sees something, and she notices the compass actually is like a key for this one spot here,
Yep.
and it's kind of puts the key in and twists, and the room spins and rotates, and they walk on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Across basically. And this is when we kind of hear those creatures coming back. This creature coming back again, and then they're like, then this is when like Omega, Hunter, and uh Fee meet back up with the other crew.
Yep. Because they meet up with the rest of the crew. The creature is still following them, but then they
Yeah,
find the door. But they find like because Hunter,
yeah,
Fee, Omega get to a door, and
yep.
then we cut back to Tech Wrecker, and that's where they're like doing their little calculations. They're like, we're
That's when they right.
and like they're trying to figure out exactly, but they all like hear something. They hear like rumblings or whatever. So they all take out their guns, Tech, Echo, and Wrecker. They jump out from the corner, and then that's where it's like Hunter, Omega, and all of them
Yeah,
hanging out at the door and everything. And one of the single greatest lines ever is given by Fee here to Tech. They're looking at the door, trying to investigate it. Like Tech's beeping away, doing whatever he like whatever calculations he does, and Fee just tells him, "Yo, Brown Eyes, like don't overthink it. Sometimes it's just the door." And
hmm
she lifts up the handle to it, and the door opens and everything.
yeah. She's just great. She knows done this before. Definitely, she's been to a lot of planets. Maybe now I'm starting to believe her.
Right?
Um, Yeah, and when she put I like this part with Fee and Omega when they were when Omega put the key in, and it was she was trying to get the compass back,
Yeah.
and Fee kind of says, "Don't worry about it. Like Scarnall's reclaimed it. This place has reclaimed what was already theirs. Just
Yeah.
let's like it wasn't yours anyway." Kind
It
of
served its purpose.
them forward and then moves them. She's like, "Oh, okay, that's a good. I like that." And that was kind of that kind of sticks around that mentality.
Yeah, but it's a good point, and I'm glad that you brought it up to talk back about it because it was a great little it was a great little thing because like Omega was like, "Oh, but I found it, it's mine now," and then like V's like, "No, no, 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 it was like it served its purpose
Well,
for us. Like that's not the treasure, you know."
right, right,
And kind of showing like we're still after our big fish here.
yeah. But
Um,
yeah, but they're still after this heart, and they finally get past this door, this impossible door, and Fee gets in there and she gets that heart pretty quickly. And what happens is a giant mecha robot comes out with a plasma face.
Plasma face shooter.
Well,
So
seems like it's going to take down this planet pretty quickly if they don't do something.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It seems like this mech vehicle thing, like
Yeah,
this like Mecha Godzilla, basically is
right.
ready to tear like tear. It looked like a mecha deer, actually. If I'm gonna be honest, had a long neck and stuff. Like I felt like it might have been a doe, a female deer, if
So,
you will.
yeah, 'cause,
But no, like this whole action sequence,
like,
like
civilization that they're talking about this whole time, and there's this idea of ancient technologies that are coming back to play that are like we don't even know what they are, what's going on here. Fee just thought this heart was just some crystalline thing that was going to bring her
yeah,
money or whatever, fame. But so they kind of figure out like, what are we gonna do? What happened? So the only thing that changed was we took this thing out of this thing, and they're like, maybe we should put it back.
Yeah.
So that starts to happen, and that's when that creature comes back to play.
Yeah.
That thing come to fight, and then that's when Fee drops the heart, the and she goes for that.
That whole thing is wild. So like the creature that Wrecker ripped a horn off of, because that's what happened actually when the creature first attacks. That's the only reason why
Right.
Wrecker gets out, is that Wrecker literally breaks the thing's horn off,
Yeah.
and it like flees away and stuff.
Right.
It was still creeping and lurking and everything, and then it attacks again here in the I
Right.
guess the control room, maybe, whatever you would call that, the deck.
The heart of the mountain. So yeah, they're in the heart of this beast, basically. The control room.
Um,
Sure.
but that whole battle between that creature and like Tech, Echo, Wrecker, and Omega is like wild stuff.
Yeah. While
And
that's going, Bee's looking for the heart, and that's fun. That's wild too. She's like, it keeps slipping.
she's like hanging out outside of the mech, like
I,
holding one thing, got the arm up there, and like you think
yeah.
it's like one of those like, is she gonna drop it or drop herself?
Yeah.
Like what's
Right.
she gonna do? I don't
If
know why tossing it back up there wasn't an option, but
they would have went to commercial at this point,
yeah,
cartoon. But yeah, that's when Hunter kind of repays the favor from earlier, and he gets her up.
yeah.
And when we go back to the battle with the creature, and you notice guns aren't working. They don't, she's the only one shooting. The Wrecker just figures it out. Wrecker's like, wait, shoot the window. And shoots the window, and he just grabs the thing and throws it out the window. I love it.
So good.
So that while that's all happening, Tex got the heart now, and he puts it back in place. And right after the thing plasma face Mel, jerk. Mel was my favorite, and
Yeah. That was super sad. Like seeing Mel die and everything. Like that
I
sucked.
yeah, so they will do that, and Tech puts the heart back, so it's just before it blows up their ship, and they would have been trapped. Again, so that's it's kind of the end of that, and then I felt like this was kind of a just a character building episode. We were getting to meet Fee. That was
Yeah.
kind of this episode, because I was trying to take away like what is the going to be the main story connector with this episode, and there wasn't many, but I think it's just to get to know Fee and who
Yeah.
her character is going to be in the future.
Right. I agree. It
Yeah,
was, well, and it was also to, I mean, and like, so Omega also asks, like, after they get the heart back in there, it like melts in and everything kind of like, all falls apart, like the whole mech like falls. And like, I was like,
there-
oh my God, they're
yeah,
all gonna die. And then I was
right,
like, wait a second, they've got like 11 more episodes left. They're not
yeah,
gonna
right.
die.
They're walking back to the ship after that, and then they yeah, it's just
And
an episode. It's a over two treasure hunting, they say,
yeah,
and they're not having a good time. They should have listened to Hunter. Uh,
is what Tech says, but I like Omega's takeaway, and Fee does too. Of like, Omega's like, but we proved it was
yeah,
right,
yeah,
which is what makes it an Indiana Jones episode.
right.
That's what makes this an Indiana Jones episode, because like he doesn't always
It's
get
more about
the
the history.
treasure
Yeah,
per se to like hold it and bring it back to wherever he wants to, but he is the dude who gets to prove it, and for his own knowledge, that's all he kind of needs.
well, because he didn't want to put the heart back, even though she was the
Right.
one that like it's reclaimed it. No, it's doing the same thing now. So now we have to put this huge treasure back because it's not something that was ever going to be ours. And yeah, so I agree. Like Omega saw the history of it. We at least we proved something here today. And then and then they're walking home and back to the ship at least. And um, Fee's kind of talking about another trip, and let's go on another one of these. And it's just funny because you see Omega buying right into it, and then Fee kind of reminds everyone that Mal's actually going to be okay, or Mel is actually going to be okay because he's backed up on like
Oh
a
shit.
Yeah, so she's just gonna rebuild a new body for him, and he's gonna be all right.
Um, I'm
So it's
super I'm super excited, man.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
sh-
and also something about it being at least we did this because that'll never happen again. Like that won't happen, and it won't destroy the whole planet. At least you know what I mean.
yeah.
So like they saw another bright side to it, and it was like, all right, at least we did something.
So yeah, Mel gets that new body. They're 0 for 2 for treasure hunting.
Nice.
But one of the last things that they talk about, as like they're walking away or whatever, Fee says like lists off 3 different names:
Right.
Vadney, Chalice, excuse me, and then Elwes. And when I heard Chalice, I was like, this is Indiana Jones. Just give us Indiana Jones. The Chalice, the Grail. I mean, it's the same thing.
Very, very much. I mean, returning the heart to the thing. All of it was just we took something, we had to put something there in its place. Like all of it was just very Indiana Jones. It was very much a callback, and it was fun. It was cool. It
Um,
was cool to see him just being like, Lucasfilms, I already do this thing. Check out this other thing.
right? Well, because it's like, don't get me wrong, I love Dave Filoni and everything he's done and keeps doing for like Star Wars, but like at some point, I would assume all of his ideas are like out there. Maybe I
As
like
far as this goes, as Bad Batch goes, though, I do hope they kind of keep touching on ancient stuff. I would like to see them kind of still work with fees once in a while. Not every episode, clearly, because this is
yeah.
this is filler. It's filler, but it could be good filler if they do it right. If they expand on the universe well, if they expand on the idea of these ancient civilizations that we haven't touched on really, even in a lot of the books and stuff.
Well, I would love to, yeah, because that's maybe what we're gonna get in that Acolyte show as well. Some of that stuff, because that's all like pre-Republic timeline and stuff, I believe. So like, it'll be interesting
Like, it's definitely Republic, but it's definitely like pre Empire and stuff.
for sure. It's early Republic then,
Exactly, yeah.
um, but I thought it was
But
pre-Empire. I thought it was Old Republic, like
there's
super.
Jedi around for sure.
Uh huh.
So I mean, yeah,
Either way,
yeah.
um,
We'll
Bad
get more
Batch.
in that show for sure. But I mean, I just the idea of them jumping around and doing this type of stuff every once in a while, where they are just investigating sites and checking it out.
I'm
Because
here
I don't
for it.
I need they have no purpose right now. They don't know. They're just kind of hanging out in the universe, waiting for Sid to give them another command. Because they're just still kind of soldiers. They haven't really moved on from that yet.
Right, and like as being soldiers, the only thing now that they have to do as a job is to keep Omega and themselves like safe and like fed and clothed or whatever. But other than that, they don't know what their purpose is or what their purpose should be. And we get a little bit of that like headbutting because you start seeing like Hunter clearly sees like being like the father parental figure to Omega is like, and doing right by her is like his main thing that he kind of wants to do, or what his idea
Oh,
is at this point. Yeah, his
sorry.
focus. Whereas like Echo thinks like they need to be doing more in the ways of like doing missions and
Repelling.
fighting and like rebelling and doing that stuff that they did with to get Omega like free and everything like that. So it is interesting that
It's micro versus macro on that. He's seeing the big picture, Hunter's seeing the small picture, and both of them are right.
yeah, because I mean both are equally important. Like making sure Omega is safe is a very very logical and important thing for them to do, but
Yeah,
also trying to keep their galaxy and their people safe from the Empire is also something that they need to be worried about as well.
right. Yeah, so I'm digging the show still, even though there's been two quote unquote filler episodes. They've been they've been good enough to keep me interested for sure. They've been good enough to keep me wanting to watch more.
Yeah, I hope we get another Crosshair episode soon. Um,
Right.
I would like to see like what's going on inside the Empire and stuff because it's like
Well,
I
you them right, so like it's like
yeah
kind of like yeah, that's bound to happen. So we got. I hope we see him soon. But I wouldn't mind a few more Bad Batch episodes, just them and maybe them figuring out something with what's going on with Sid. You know, we still got that going on in the
mhm.
background. And just maybe them finding more purpose.
Yeah, they absolutely they need it. They need something.
Yeah, maybe Omega will figure it out. I don't know. We'll see. She's been awesome. I'm
I
liking
love
her more.
Omega. She's great.
The first season, again, she was more of a placeholder, and she just wasn't um, fleshed out as much as I wished. But that's because it's a short show with that's mostly animated, so it's kids go watch. Not
Yeah.
expect super story heavy.
I mean they're definitely like pulling at it and like letting us like live in here and like live with these characters, which is pretty great. And I also wonder if like because we don't know how long Bad Batch is gonna go, Clone Wars went what a total of 6, and then they once Disney Plus happened, they got a 7th season. Rebels got 4 seasons, and then Bad Batch. This is now their 2nd season. So what? Maybe 2 more seasons we get max, like 4 more of Bad Batch.
Yeah,
Um, I'm,
but the Disney Plus edition, right? Who knows now?
yeah,
Like
right,
the difference compared to what TV used to be when Rebels and especially Clone Wars was on.
right. Well, I mean, even just the number of episodes. There's 16 episodes in these seasons. That's pretty long. Most stuff, I don't think, like even animated or live action, usually doesn't go that long. They're usually like 13 or under, I'd say.
Yeah,
Um, So I'm excited. I love that we get this much Bad Batch. I love being back in a galaxy far, far away. Being back with Clone Force 99 and everything. Like I love it. It's so much fun. Every time like Star Wars comes out with something new, like the new show or whatever is airing, like I always get so stoked for it. I'm always excited. And I'm always in on it. And it just like restokes those fires from like my entire life that I've been able to just be watching Star Wars. It's great. I love it. I'm so excited to be back. I really hope we get an indie. I know this whole episode just felt like a calling card for something to happen Indiana Jones wise with like Dave Filoni. So like that's why I keep talking about it. But like I'm here for an Indiana Jones show if they ever want to do it live action
you know,
animated. Yeah,
yeah, I'm definitely down.
absolutely. All right, Colin, do you have anything else before we sign off?
Nope, I'll check you next week on the next episode. Can't wait.
Absolutely. So yeah, with that, we are going to be signing off. I'm Jimmy with the Triple C Collective.
I'm Colin. See you later.
Stay safe and may the force be with you.